In this video, I'm going to show you the basic setup required for getting started with an Angular application. First, we require Node.js. Let's head towards nodejs.org and we see a couple of options here. There is a LTS, long-term support 10.14.2 and the current 11.5.0. And during installation, you might find a newer version here. So click on this to download. Let me save it on my desktop and open that, which begins the installation process. This installation is pretty straightforward. Just go through the default options and that's done. Now to verify, I can go to a terminal or Windows command prompt and look for node dash dash version, and that says 11.5.0. By installing Node.js, we would have also got npm, using which we can install the necessary the Angular framework and its dependencies. And npm dash dash version also may show you something like this, 6.4.1. Now you can update the npm to a newer version by typing npm update -g npm, and on Mac computers you may want to use sudo, which might ask the administrator password. On Windows, npm update -g npm is good enough. This will actually download the latest version of npm from internet and makes that as your global installation. This might take a few seconds, and once it is done, once again we can check npm dash dash version, and you should see 6.5.0. Now npm is Node Package Manager, used for installation of global packages, frameworks, and project dependencies. So the second aspect of our project setup would be to install Angular. Now, when you say Angular, Angular is actually a bunch of libraries, but in order to get started with an Angular project, we have few options. Number one, if I go to resources here, I have few IDEs that can be used for creating an Angular project, and the IDEs will take care of all those things. We will be using Visual Studio Code, but which is more like a text editor, but it's a very good tool for working with Angular. But there is a tooling support for Angular CLI. This is the command line interface which allows us to create Angular projects quickly, and also has lots and lots of options for us to generate few JavaScript or TypeScript code, plus build and deploy applications as well. So we'll be using this, and for this purpose we need to go back to the command prompt and install the Angular CLI. And to do that, I'll type npm-g. You can say install -g or -g install, doesn't matter. And then I type at Angular /CLI. And if you want to specify a particular version, you can say at. By default, it is pointing to at latest. And again, I may require to use sudo because of the -g installation. For a regular installation, you don't need the sudo option. So I'm gonna, and this time it doesn't ask the password because it just asked previously. And this Angular CLI is a very useful tool, like I mentioned, that it provides lots and lots of options. To start with, it has an option to create a new project, it has an option to start a development web server, and so on. So to verify if things are done, we can type ng-version. Ng is the command that got installed when we did the Angular CLI installation. And here it is, Angular CLI version 7.1.4, Node.js version 11.5.0, and few other basic versioning is listed over here, which is what we would be using. While there are many IDEs available, one of the most probably powerful IDEs are the WebStorm, which is a commercial one. There is also IntelliJ IDEA, which is primarily meant for Java, but it is also used for developing JavaScript applications. There is one Angular IDE by Web Eclipse. So people who are familiar with the Eclipse, this is an IDE built on top of Eclipse, so which is also very nice one. But the most commonly used one is Visual Studio Code, which is a fantastic text editor for creating, for working with JavaScript and TypeScript applications. And this is the one that we would be using. It is from Microsoft, based out of Atom. So you can visit code.visualstudio.com, and this identifies your OS and list out download links. So I already have this. It's a straightforward installation. Just download this. It's a zip file, unzip that, and start using that. So as simple as that.